Grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. The Walking Dead, as I'm sure you all are aware of now, as the little flock, are all around you. And the more that you understand that, the better you'll be able to move and maneuver through your existence here in the matrix, in this 3D reality. One thing we were told was that we were sojourners and pilgrims. So the best thing to do when you hear an attribute of yourself is to understand it in its entirety so that you can make it a part of your being, a part of your I amness. So he says a sojourner. Now, a lot of people don't live like that. They don't live as sojourners live. They do the opposite of what a sojourner would do. So those people that you see doing the opposite of a sojourner obviously isn't what you are and what you were called to be, correct? Well, what is a sojourner? To stay as a temporary resident. You hear that? A temporary stay. To stay for a time and a place and live temporarily. A rest stop. So when you're on a road trip, any of you who have been, occasionally you may have to use the bathroom or stretch, take a nap, do whatever. You may have to do these things. Well, you may be far from a city or far from any type of place that has hotels or anything like that. So you just pull over at a rest stop, which is along the road there, to maybe get a snack, use the bathroom, stretch a minute, maybe catch a few Z's and get back on the road. That's what sojourning is. So when you're at the rest stop, you are sojourning. Did you know that this life here in the 3D is a rest stop? If it wasn't a rest stop, then you wouldn't be called a sojourner. But are you called a sojourner? Yep. You see that? Let's see. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 40 says, "O my people." So like I said, there are some people in the world that are not sojourners, but Abba's people are. He told them that they were. They're just passing through this place. He says, "O my people, hear my word." So this is the Father talking to his people, and what does he want you to do? To hear what he's about to tell you. "Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth." So when you are you living in an evil time? Of course you are. This earth is evil. So if you're living here, you're passing through temporarily. And so while you're there, live there as a pilgrim. What is a pilgrim? A person who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons. A traveler or a wanderer. Traveler or a wanderer. Is it just like sojourner? At the rest stop, you're traveling on a road trip. See? Now on the road trip, when you get to the rest stop, why do you start building houses there at the rest stop? Does that make any sense? Huh? I'm just asking to start making purchases at the rest stop other than a snack or two. You start making investments at the rest stop. See, I'm just going to just plant my flag here and stay here forever. Then you're not using it for what it was designed for. You're not using your life and existence here the way that it was purposed. You see? First Peter chapter 2, verse 11. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust which war against the soul. You notice how Esdras and Peter here used war when they were describing this scenario? Remember how I started this conversation talking about the walking dead? Now, those living people, didn't they have to keep traveling? And every time they tried to stop to build a permanent residence, what happened to it? They started to become gang stalk and surrounded by the dead until they were rooted out of there and had to continue to travel. So, what is Abba trying to show you about your life? If you try to build up something in the world of the dead, the walking dead, they will gang stalk you and surround you until you are forced out. They will bust through the windows, doors, and everything, grabbing, trying to eat you until you run for your life to the next location where you'll be temporarily. So there's no need in you trying to build it up to make it as if it's permanent. But you'll do it again. If you watch The Walking Dead, then you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll do it again. You'll try to build another Alexandria. Yes, this one will stay forever. We'll build these walls in it. You shall build up, but I shall throw down. So if you were living in evil times like that, where when you build something up, it gets thrown down, wouldn't you live as a pilgrim and not build nothing up? Just buy you a bag of chips out the vending machine and a Snickers almond, go back to your Honda Civic and start chowing down on that and look out the window and see what it looks like and prepare to get back on the road again. But that's the thing. A lot of the say believers, people that say they believe, don't live as pilgrims, do they? They have several houses that they own. Why are you having several houses that you own at the rest stop? Back to Peter. Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul. Lust means 4 or 5 houses. See? Abstain from that. Lust is the want for more. Why do you want more of the stuff at the rest stop when you're going to leave there in a minute? That's my question. When the definition of what a pilgrim is and what a definition of a sojourner is has been made really clear. Let's get the definition of this other word here as strangers and pilgrims. So, strangers, huh? Let's see. Let's see. Stranger, a person who one does not know or with whom one is not familiar. A person entirely unaccustomed to a feeling, experience, or situation. A newcomer, an unknown person, an alien, a foreigner. You hear the word? Alien? Foreigner? Stranger. I beseech you as aliens. So the elect on the earth, if they were sitting around and there was a minister up there and the minister said, y'all are aliens here. Y'all not actually are not from here. That's what the person would say at the rest stop that I'm describing. They would say, it's no need in building anything up, guys. You guys are aliens. You guys are just passing through, going to the next spot. You're strangers. We don't even know you. We're unaccustomed to you. See that? Strangers and pilgrims. And what's the other word? Strangers, pilgrims, and sojourners. Sojourners. Okay? Let's get another precept while we're on this subject. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, But having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. So the righteous that were described there in Hebrews, that obtained righteousness by faith, accepted and embraced that they were aliens, that they were foreigners. I have a video. I said, we are behind enemy lines. Is that true or not? So then, if you were behind enemy lines, why would you build a house there? Why would you try to build any type of wealth there? Why would you try to fulfill your fleshly lusts there when it's a temporary stop? And guess what? How come no one's asking the question, what's the destination? All sitting at the rest stop like that's the best place in the world to be. No one's saying, well, where's the destination? If this is nothing but a rest stop and I'm just passing through, I'm passing through to get where? I'm a traveler. I'm traveling like aliens do from one place to another. Where is my ultimate destination? Zion. That's where. Because that's where salvation is. hmm That's where your king is. That's his name. Salvation. That's where he is, sitting at the right hand of the Father. So if that rest stop is that rest stop called Zion or Jerusalem? It's called rest stop number 7 on I-75. That's not your final destination. Now, back to The Walking Dead. When you start this journey, when you get there, you're an alien and a foreigner. Now think about you. How would you respond if you saw an alien come out the sky and land on the ground and stand there in front of you? You'd probably become extremely afraid. Well, do you understand why people act the way they act to you? Because you're an alien that has on a hat. Listen good, y'all. You have on a hat and a jacket, some gym shoes, an Apple Watch, a North Face. You're drinking some kind of Coors Light or some shit. So my point is, you look like them, but you're not them. You see that? You look like them, but you're not. Well, it's the same thing. Wheat and tares are the same way, aren't they? Aren't they? They look similar until they grow and get a little older. And then as they get older, they see the difference there. Wait a minute, this is the Walking Dead I've been around. As long as I acted like them and I blended in with them and had my head down and put a mask on, listen at what I'm saying, and acted and walked like them and blended in with them, they didn't harm me. They thought I was one of them, they did not harm me. But the moment I acted like a normal living person from where I'm from, that's when they tried to eat me and attack me. That's right. Why do you think he says don't cast your pearls before swine or they'll turn and rend you? Rend? That's what those zombies are doing to those living beings, aren't they, in that show? They're rending them, which means to tear. They're just tearing them apart. You see that? So, what are your pearls? Your fruits of the Spirit that you've been granted. You don't give those to the walking dead. You don't show any response. You just travel. You just keep moving. And then when one thinks he's going to eat you, you stand still and watch the salvation of Abba work. That's what he told you to do, not me. When the horde of enemies comes, which is that Walking Dead horde, that's when the humans start to get all afraid. The living beings, they all get afraid. Oh, here they come. Read your Bible and read about Israel. Oh my God, there's so many of those enemies. What are we going to do? Don't y'all see that right there? Because the Walking Dead are coming to eat the Israelites. Israelites going, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? All of a sudden, fire come down from the sky and burn up all the damn zombies. Burn them all up. or they get smitten with some type of mental plague where they freak out and start killing each other, start eating each other. And you thought you were all the same all along. Alien. Okay, let me go back to the scripts real quick because somebody might think I'm being dramatic by using that word. They're like, man, what does this dude talk about aliens, man? Aliens is the little gray dude that come out the sky and all this. Of course, this world will lie to you about that. Okay, let's see here. Let's see what we want. Come on, Job. Come on, Job. Job 19:15. They that dwell in mine house. Now I want you to stop right there and hear that right and good before we continue. They that dwell in my house. Now where did Christ say your enemies would be? They of your own household. Hear that? No, this is my permanent family. This a rest stop family. You meet people at the rest stop and you may laugh with them and slap high fives. That don't mean you're going to be with them forever. You just met them when you got to the rest stop, Earth. It's the first time y'all had ever met. Now you're slapping high fives saying, we're going to be friends forever. No, you're at a rest stop, just chilling at the rest stop together for a minute. And y'all aren't going to the same destination. Do you notice that when you're at the rest stop, everybody's not going to the same place? Ain't that interesting? But you happen to all meet at the same place. Same thing with the wheat and tares. When they leave the rest stop, they're going one direction, the wide freeway you see out there. When you leave the rest stop, you're going to that narrow little tiny street right there, the straight road. That's where you're going. You see? So Job says, they that dwell in mine house and my maids count me for a stranger, and I am an alien in their sight.